Hello, everybody. I am Nicodemus Kane. How's everybody doing? I'm back once again talking about stuff. Um, I honestly didn't want to make a video tonight. I was going to save it for tomorrow, but I was constantly thinking I need to say something. I need to, at least try to say something, get it out of my head, just talk. And that's what I think I'm probably going to wind up doing here. I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to talk for long. I don't want to be long. I'm actually playing a game. I've been distracting myself with Final Fantasy 14. It's playing right now. I'm fishing, believe it or not. Um I have put my mind to the most utterly menial tasks just so I don't go crazy. I still read my Bible. I still pray every day. I still try to keep up with what's going on in the world. Um, I'm not working near as much as I used to. I've cut it back to 8 hours. They took the mandatory overtime off of us, so I'm only working 8 hours. I had a lot of time off in December. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I had 4 day weekends every weekend. So it was good to get my head straight, purge it all out, because this last year has just been an absolute nightmare. And sadly, I just don't see anything getting any better. Um I really don't see anything getting any better. I'd like to talk about what's going on um, in the world right now. But of course, you know how it is. As soon as you start talking, YouTube will probably censor the hell out of me and take my video down, which they've already done. It's it is what it is. I've heard that BitChute has had to do the same thing to certain people for saying certain things, which makes me wonder just how much time do we have left before we are completely censored off the map. I have my biggest thing right now is how did we when okay, how do I want to put this? When I was a kid, I was pretty happy-go-lucky. I didn't really think about anything. It's just you just kind of live in it, and you go, and you don't really think about what's coming around, what's happening. It just kind of you live your life, and I had a fairly well life. I wasn't pushed in anything. I wasn't you know really told to do anything. I just kind of lived it, and I lived it up. I lived it pretty well, as much as I could. Um, the problem being is that there was always something underneath, underlying this problem underlying that I didn't know about because nobody around me knew. Um, because, you know, generation after generation has just repeated the lie because they don't know any better. I mean, how was my mother? How was my grandmother? How was my grandfather? How were any of them supposed to know that just about everything they were ever told was a complete and utter lie? I mean, how were they supposed to know? There's somebody that actually came up and started fishing beside me. It's so weird. I'm sorry. It's just, like I said, it keeps my mind occupied. I've gotten very close over the past couple weeks of just breaking down, absolutely breaking down. But I'm handling it. I'm really handling it. And I probably shouldn't be, so beyond preoccupied with other things. But just trying to keep my head straight, man. Just trying to get through this. What was I saying? Yeah, my grandparents. How were they supposed to know that there was such a big lie? I mean, seriously, how were they supposed to know? Because we didn't know growing up. I mean, if you are even watching this, then you remotely look for the truth in whatever you whatever you look for. You even remotely understand that things just aren't right. There are just things that just they're just not right. I've talked about a lot of those things on this channel. A lot of the videos I've talked about, things just don't appear the way that we're told. And I find it I find it absurd that people have gone out of their way to tell you that if you think differently than everybody else, you're some kind of whack job. Now, I understand where that comes from. I understand the, CIA Mockingbird, how they've gotten everybody to use the term conspiracy theorist to completely, push away any kind of alternative viewpoints. I understand that, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it doesn't affect me in some way, shape, or form. I used to be that way as a kid. I used to hear the crazy, stupid nonsense that people used to say. And I used to be like, oh no, that's not a thing. How could you believe in this? How could you believe in that? At the same time, though, as a teenager, I was like everybody else. I watched X-Files. I read The Sun. Or whatever the hell. It wasn't the National Enquirer. It was the black and white one. I think it was called The Sun. We used to get that just to read it as jokes, But every now and then you would meet somebody, usually a friend of my stepfather's, that would tell me stories, just stories that wouldn't mesh with things I had heard. And you just kind of start building that understanding that well, maybe things just maybe they're not the way that you think they are, only because there's a level of there's a level of lie that we have to tell each other. You know, just to be able to get through life. And I've heard that before. I I've heard that before where, people have just said, just go along to get along. And I just kind of did that for a long time. Just went along to get along. I mean, you don't really it's not really that's what you do. Because there's just some things you can't explain. I mean, we don't know everything. We're not supposed to know everything, and I understand that. I'm fine with that. I'm not supposed to know everything, but what I'm told just doesn't seem to line up, and I have issues with that, and that kind of bugs me. I can't just take it on face value. I can't just say, "Oh, I absolutely believe what you're telling me," because what you're telling me doesn't match what I'm seeing from other people, from other places, just from living my life. I just don't, you know, is that is that a fault in my circuitry? Is that something wrong with my brain pan? They will probably wind up saying that eventually. There has been a push over the past several years. This mental health push. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. I'm sure some people have seen it, where they have started trying to push this mental health crisis, that people are in this kind of mental health crisis and they need to be helped. That if you don't think a certain way, um, you could have problems. And one of the cures has been medication, of course. One of the other cures I've heard has been implants. I have heard of how do I want to describe this? Mind control techniques that aren't like the things that we understand. Sitting somebody in front of a television that flashes pictures or images at you. This is more of a apparently a telepathic kind of mind control thing. Truth Stream Media. I've pushed them for a while now. Truth Stream Media. They're still on YouTube. They've they've toned it down a lot so they can keep on YouTube. But they've talked about this kind of stuff. They've gone on about the scientific discoveries that have been made back in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, where now they're talking about being able to read your mind from across the room. Apparently they're saying that this kind of technology could be used in courts, you know, where people wouldn't have to worry about confessing because we would know what you're thinking, straight off. It's kind of scary. As it is, you I don't know what I'm trying to say there, man. I really don't know what I'm trying to say there. My my concern more than more than anything else right now is what's coming at us. And you guys have to know that it's coming at us. It's been staring us down. It's been staring us down the barrel for the past 9 months, and actually, it's been staring down at us for the past 20 years, at least. I'm not saying that 2001 was where it all started. It wasn't. This has been in planning for a long time. Um, but there has been this push. There has been this definite push to get us all into a certain kind of state of mind, you know. This kind of get us all into lockstep. There you go, lockstep. get us get us all in understanding that we don't we don't get to win this one, and that bugs the hell out of me. They've gone out of their way to, and I'm not talking about, us not winning it in terms of spiritually. I'm not talking about that at all. We all know in the end, God wins this. We understand that. I'm more talking about what's happening here. That they have gone out of their way to show us that no matter how much we try to rebel against the system, that it's not going to work as far as what they want for us. Does that make any sense? Does that? I how do I want to word this? In light of recent events, we have definitely been shown that we don't have a say in much anything. We really don't. Um, they've definitely come out and they've definitely come flat out and told us, we're going to tell you what happens. We're going to tell you what happens, and if you don't agree with what we're telling you, then we're going to tell you, we're going to lock you up, we're going to jail you, we're going to fine you, we're going to do whatever it takes to take you down. That has to do with the CV. That has to do with the selection of the person that gets to run the country. That has to do with just damn near everything. I watched a video just recently. Truthstream, she uploaded one, and it was about how people over the past year have slowly decided to just submit themselves to authoritarianism. They've just decided to just let it happen. Let the authority tell them what is right and what is wrong. And it's become blind, you know, following. Just to blindly follow it. Just, you know, whatever. Just tell us what to do and we'll do it. I've come to start calling it as people are so scared to live their lives that they are willing to let somebody else tell them how to live it. They're they're so afraid of dying that they are willing to let somebody else tell them how to live their life. It's pretty much how it is, but it's the same concept, same way. It goes both ways. Uh, but that's what you know, that's what I've started to kind of. I've started saying is that they're so afraid of dying, they're willing to let somebody live their lives. They're willing to listen to whatever anybody says, no matter what. And that's the problem. Is you're just succumbing to a no matter what mentality. It's like just stop for a second. Stop and listen to what's happening. Stop and take a look around at what's happening. Stop and understand that this it's just not real anymore. And people that run the show, the people at the top, they don't even care anymore. They don't even they're just putting it right out in your face, and I really don't understand how people just aren't seeing it. They don't hide the information. They actually put the information. They will put the information, the truth, out side by side with the lie. And for whatever reason, people are believing the lie. But we know why people are believing the lie. People will choose to believe in a lie because they would rather live in their unrighteousness than to hear the truth. I've said that somewhere along the line. I know I've said that somewhere along the line because that verse has stuck out to me more than a lot of other verses have ever stuck out to me. Because I was part of that. I was I was part of that system. I would rather have believed the lie because I wanted to live in my unrighteousness. And there's still that part of me that still does. I'm not perfect. I can't. As much as I try to make myself perfect, I can't. And he says that. He says you cannot the Bible says you cannot make yourself perfect. You have to trust in the Father. You have to trust in God. You have to let Him take you and clean you. Believe that He will make you something better. And I will absolutely admit that I haven't been doing that lately. It's made me very sad and upset at myself for not doing that. And I absolutely understand that's not what he wants for me. And I'm trying to be better at it. I am. I'm. He and I had a long talk the other day at the table in the morning where I just stopped and said, "Man, I understand that I'm not doing this the way that you need me to do this. I have to start putting my faith in you more than this. And we kind of came to an understanding on that. I'm swimming in the game. I'm sorry. It caught me unaware. We weren't able to swim before this, and now we are. That's so strange. Anyways, sorry. but yeah, I had that talk. I said, look, I get it. I understand. I have not even remotely been living my life to any standard that you could want. And I said, I have to put a lot more faith in you than what I've been doing because this just isn't working anymore, you know. I can't live the life the way that I was and, you know, hope for the best like that. I have to put my trust and faith in him. I actually wrote down the oh, there it is. It's right in front of my face. I wrote down Ephesians 6:10 through 20 because I wanted to make sure that when I ask for the full armor, I know what it is. Because you have to make notes. Because if you don't understand it, you have to have the notes. You have to make notes. But I wrote it down. It's the pieces. There's 6 pieces. It's rather interesting that the 6 pieces correlate to the 6 parts of your body. You know, 2 legs, 2 arms. I mean, it doesn't correlate like that, but you know how it is. That's what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your heart, 6 parts of your body. But where these things are, it's the belt of truth. It's the breastplate of righteousness. It's the feet, the shoes of peace, the feet of peace. The shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. And I was like, that's what I need to remember. That's where it is. Interesting thing about that though, whenever everybody I've heard at least, when they talk about the full armor of God, they talk about the breastplate and they talk about the belt and they talk about the boots and they talk about the shield and they talk about the helmet. Nobody ever talks about the sword. Nobody ever really talks about the sword. And it just kind of struck me as interesting. I was like, is this why we don't fight back? You know, aren't we supposed to be armored up and ready to fight for what we believe in? And I'm not talking about going out and, you know, shooting anybody or killing anybody just for the faith. No, I'm talking about having that having the sword with you, having that spirit with you, being ready to take on what's happening, not just roll over and take it. There's so much rolling over and taking it. It drives me insane. Especially over the past year. I've seen too much of it. Just people just rolling over and taking it. Like, that's not how this is supposed to work, guys. You're not supposed to roll over and take it. You have to fight for what you believe in. You have to put up the fight. You know, you can't just bend over and take it. You have to stand for what you believe in. And if that means that you have to if you have to take your enemies down, then you got to take your enemies down. I know we're supposed to love everybody. And I try. We're supposed to pray for our enemies. And I do. I do. I pray for them all the time. I ask him to forgive them because they just don't know any better. Because they chose to believe the lie that we don't believe. You know? They chose to do that to themselves. But there's going to come a time where you're going to have to fight for what you believe. Now, there's a lot of people that I hear, that say, we're going to be more than willing to walk up, to the guillotines to just take whatever's coming, take what it is. Oh, my hair! Oh my god! Yeah, I've let my hair grow, and I've noticed how bald I'm becoming. I'm balding. I'm an old man. It's genetic. My grandfather was like that. My uncle was like that. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. But I've heard so many people say, I'm more than ready to go and sacrifice myself to the Lord and all this. And like, yeah, okay, that's you're going to be set upon. You're going to be set upon, and you're going to lose your life for his name, for his name's sake. That's what we're supposed to do. It's going to happen. But I've said it before. It says, the Antichrist causeth all, great and old, big and small, whatever, to take the mark. But it also says later on, for those that didn't take the mark. That means there's a fight coming. That means two things. It means either you chose to rebel against the mark, and you fought against it to make sure that you do not get it, or you ran away. Now, the Bible also says when you see the abomination of desolation in the temple, you're supposed to run away. Now, interestingly enough, the Apocrypha had that happen. The Book of Maccabees, where I don't remember the name of the whoever came in, and he was sacrificing a pig in the temple. Now, there's a lot of people that don't want to believe that, and hey, that's you can. I'm not going to tell you what to believe and what not to believe, but we'll know it when we see it. We'll know it when it comes. I don't think God will just leave us hanging on that. I think when it comes, we will understand that that's our sign. That's where we should probably start worrying what's going on. But I don't think I don't think you can just sit on your hands and just take it. That's not what I'm being led to. That's not what I'm understanding. That's not what I'm reading. What I'm understanding and reading is that you have to not only spread the word, spread the good word, spread the word in faith, and tell everybody, but you have to bring the Spirit with you and be willing to fight against whatever's coming. But it's ultimately up to him. You have to ask what he wants you to do. You have to pray. Pray to the Father, ask him what he wants you to do. If he wants you to fight, then you fight. If he wants you to take it, you have to take it. If because it's his punishment to you. It's absolutely his punishment to you, to a world that chose to a world that chose not to listen to him. You know, it's it's the punishment. I have to deal with my own punishments. You know, I understand. Part of my punishments has been has possibly been having to know the truth and not be able to do anything about it. Part of my punishments might be that, when the time comes, I might not be able to fight back. I don't know. I really don't know. I do know that there's something going down. Something heavy's going down. And things are not going to get any better. Things are things are definitely not going to get any better. You're going to see a lot of pushback from what's coming. And I don't want to say I sincerely hope so. I don't want to see people fighting. I don't want to see people kill each other. I don't want to see people fighting. But I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Man, you can't just you can't just treat people the way that you've treated them for the past year and then turn around and say, "Well, now we're going to make it worse," because I'll tell you what's coming is going to be worse. Um Old Creepy Joe, he has uh he has already said when he comes into power, um he's he's gonna wind up doing a lot of stuff that we don't like. He's already said that. He's already flat out said, my first action is I'm gonna demand everybody wear masks. And there have been a lot of people that have there have been a lot of people that have already said, well, you're gonna be wearing that for a while. Some people saying, oh, you're gonna be wearing it for the next 5 years. You gonna let them do that to you? Really? You gonna let them do that to you? Okay, whatever, man. That's gonna be his first mandate. The other mandate they said was they're going to abolish the Second Amendment as soon as they get in. What they said. They're gonna they're pushing it is what they're doing, and that's what they want. That's what they want. They're gonna push it. They're gonna see how far they can push Patriots. And Owen Benjamin said it best. He said when it comes to them coming to take everybody's guns away, he said, well, they can try. And he's right. As far as this household is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, they can try. They they can come right up to my door, and we're gonna find out who's going to get the guns, what's going to happen, because I'm not giving them away willingly. If I have to make the run before then, I'll make the run before then. And I got a feeling that it's going to happen. That I'm going to have to make that decision to make that run. I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of things I'm worried about. There's a lot of things that I'm being told to just chill out about. When I pray on it and I ask, what am I supposed to do? I am being told, just settle down. Go clear your mind. For right now, I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing. The only thing I've been told over the past couple days is I need to talk to you guys. I need to say what I need to say. And that's where we're at. I just don't know what else to say. You know, I mean, I don't know where else to go from here. I know I'm getting a little stir crazy. My wife is getting a lot of stir crazy. She's been locked in this house as long as I have. We don't go anywhere. I refuse to wear a mask, which means I don't get to go anywhere. Because a lot of these places now are just straight up saying, we're not going to let you in. So what can I do? I haven't been inside of another building. Other than families' houses for 7 months. Part of me is starting to miss it. Really starting to miss it. There's a lot of thinking back to things that we had, and you know, a lot of thinking. Probably too much thinking. I'm probably thinking way too much. But that's where I'm at. What do you want, right? But I wanted to keep it short, and I'm about 12 minutes longer than the short that I wanted. So I'm not gonna waste your guys' time anymore. And tomorrow we're going to see my mother. I'm gonna go cook her pizza. I make pretty good pizzas. That's my one thing. My dad taught me how to make pizzas, and I used his recipe, even though he doesn't make pizzas anymore. But he taught me how to make pizzas, and I make them pretty good. And Angie said, my wife, she said, we need to go see your mom because we got some things that we got to give her. And I was like, well, she wanted a pizza. I said, let's go make her pizza. We're gonna go do that tomorrow. I gotta go help her with her taxes too. She never filed taxes for the entire year last year. Never filed them. Blows my mind. I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They're the way that the system works. They're just like, oh, just defer them until next year. It's okay. But they keep telling her. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's all crap money, anyways. It's like, what are you gonna do? Really? They're just making up money just to give to people. By the way, I got $600. I don't why am I getting money? I now have $1,800 in my bank account that I don't want. I never wanted it, but they gave it to me. What am I supposed to do with it? I want to give it back to them and say no. Because what's going to happen is, in a couple months, you're going to tax me off my ass for it. It's exactly what's going to happen. And now that the administration is changing, oh boy. Oh, get ready for that, man. Carbon tax is going to happen. Everything that they've ever wanted, everything you've ever heard every conspiracy theorist say over the past 10 years is going to come to fruition. All of the worst shit possible. uh, and you either stand up against it now or it. This is the things I think about because it's there. You can't not. You can't not see it. You know, it's just never in a million years would have thought. Never. And we're here. You know, it's like we're here, and people are just like going along with it. People want it. People are applauding it. People are absolutely wanting it because they think it's the best thing in the world, and they don't understand. They don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't know any better. Absurd. It's absolutely absurd. But we're doing that. I wish whoever's watching this, I wish I could give you guys some pizza, you know? Come over, hang out, you know? We'll try some pizza, you know. Watch a stupid movie or something. That'd be great. Just to have people around anymore. But even then, I don't know. I can't trust people. I don't know. Even if I were able to, even if I were able to have that, could I trust people anymore? I don't know. I don't I don't know if I could trust people anymore. I just don't know what. I don't know what's going on anymore. I really don't. It's weird. But I'm gonna stop. Thank you guys for listening. I, I don't have any news for you. I really don't. It's not like I, you know, have some massive, huge thing to say. I needed to talk. I was I was kind of led to just get on here and just talk. I was going to do one tomorrow. I was going to do an actual video tomorrow after I got done with my mom's because I just wanted to see what her mindset is. I don't know what her mindset is. I know she doesn't believe a lot, but at the same time, there's little things that she kind of, you know, she kind of goes along with. So I just wanted to get what her mentality was so that I would have something to talk about. I don't know. I just needed to talk tonight. It's therapeutic. It's therapy. That's what it is. It's therapy. Needed to do some fishing and do some talking. I'm doing some fishing. Therapy. Because we need therapy at this point. Trust in the Father. That's what He wants me to tell you. More than anything else. Be ready. Be prepared. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to utter hatred. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to your own pride. Just try to be there. Love your people as best you can. Tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them what's going on. More than anything, don't be afraid to tell your people. Don't be afraid to tell your people what's going on. whatever you whatever you have to do, whatever you have to do to tell them, you know, just do it. Don't be afraid. Beyond that, I don't have anything else. Love each other. Pray every day. Praying and fasting. That's what I'm getting right now. Praying and fasting. Which I'm not the best at. Fasting. I'm trying. I need it. We have a joke. We have a joke now. The only COVID-19 that I caught last year was the 19 pounds that I caught from being locked up in this house. That's the only. Oh shit! And that'll probably be the thing that trips the algorithm and kills the whole video. Oh well, whatever. Man, so much deception, so many lies, so much. Read your Bibles. I made it. I made it through the entirety of the New Testament. Went through Revelations. Revelations is very interesting. When you actually sit and read Revelations, there's a lot going on in that book. We might talk about that in a video coming up. If I even have videos coming up. If I can even make videos coming up. Oh, we got 11 days. It's January 9th right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, January 9th. We got 11 days till whatever happens, happens. It's interesting that January 20th is a 201. Gotta love that. Gotta love that numerology. Gotta love that symbology. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Keep going. Just keep going. I'll try to keep going if you guys try to keep going. All right. Love you all. I wish you well. And I have to keep going. I just ran out of bait. All right. Love you guys.